get to the Raiders. Like, we need to determine how seriously we're going to take this Raiders team. And I think that the one thing you cannot do is discard them and say this is a bit of a, trick start, a little smoke and mirrors. You know what? They're scoring. They're stopping you in a way they haven't. Now, what they need to do, and they can't do this for a couple of months, is they need to exercise the late season demons.
Yeah.
But even in winning some pretty high profile, they beat the Chiefs last year, some high profile games the last couple of years early under Gruden, they've had good starts, but this feels a little different. The roster feels better. The team feels better.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, BT. The team feels like they're buying in fully to what John Gruden is preaching. Derek Carr has gotten, I don't want to say he's elite because I don't think he's quite there yet, but he's trending there.
He's getting there.
He's trending to elite quarterback. And when you see him play the way that he's played, I mean, he's got 817 yards in 2 games. I mean, think about
That's crazy.
Seriously,
that is crazy.
Think about how we think of Derek Carr. He threw for 435 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Baltimore Ravens in Week 1. In Week 2 against the Steelers, he threw for 382 yards and 2 touchdowns.
In Pittsburgh, by the way.
In Pittsburgh,
3,000 miles away.
Against 2 good teams.
Early start.
Baltimore is a competitive team. They're perennially, at least the last few years, in the postseason with Lamar Jackson. They're always dangerous. The team is the number 1 offense in football right now. It doesn't feel like it, but they are. And a lot of that's on the arm of Derek Carr, who we've just kind of he's just we've afterthoughted him.
Yeah, we always kind of put him in that 12, 13 vicinity.
That's
after
right.
the greats, after all the stars, and certainly before guys who don't deserve a whole lot of props.
That's right.
But we need to elevate him because he's forcing us to.
Yeah, we don't think about him as an elite player, but he's becoming that right now.
He is.
And so much of that is just, I think, cohesion and understanding exactly what John Gruden wants. John Gruden is still a great offensive mind. He is. It now Derek Carr and him are in lockstep. It feels like they're dangerous. They've beaten 2 good teams. It's not like they beat like the little sisters of the poor.
No, I know. It's not like they beat the Jets or the Jaguars or even the Giants who were winless. I know what you mean.
Look, the other undefeated team in the AFC, the Denver Broncos, their start is Giants, Jags, Jets.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The Raiders, who are also undefeated, is Baltimore, Steelers, and now they have Miami. Now Miami's compromised because Tua's hurt, and their offensive line has been terrible, but still. And then they have the Chargers. They have a tough start, the Raiders, and if they can get through 3-1 or 4-0 even after the first quarter, I mean, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
They do have a tough schedule. They've got to go to Cleveland in late December. They've got to go to Indianapolis
That's going to be nice and warm.
I know. On January 2nd, now the Colts, if Wentz is healthy and they're right, that's a tough game.
Yep.
They got to play at Dallas this year, and we'll see Dallas Monday night. By the way, Fletcher Cox joins us next hour, which will be all sorts of fun.
Yep.
It'll be
the Chiefs, too, later.
At the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, this is where the point's been hijacked a little bit here. And listen, we're raising our hands. We've been guilty of this as well. Because Cleveland Farrell, the first pick that they made, all right, who was obviously drafted, even that night we knew 4th overall made no sense.
Yeah.
Not that he couldn't be a good player, but 4th overall, he didn't have that electric dynamic talent. Hell, if you took Cleveland Farrell 20th overall, it would still look bad. He was inactive last game for a healthy scratch. But we latch on to that. And it obscures a lot of the other good things that they've done roster-wise.
Of course.
Like, that's the low-hanging fruit, but that's not the real answer.
And that's on Mayock.
That's what I'm saying.
Whether it's drafting Josh Jacobs, who's been really good.
But he's hurt now.
He is
and
hurt.
they still won without him.
But still, he's. My point is, over the last 3 years, Josh Jacobs has been fantastic.
Very good.
Finding a guy like Hunter Renfrow, who people are like, Hunter Renfrow. Yeah, I know he was the star of the Clemson, national championship. It's Hunter Renfrow. The dude is almost a great slot receiver and possession guy, orchestrating the Darren Waller acquisition, which was
I would say rehabilitation, not even acquisition.
Yeah, that's right, rehabilitation,
reviving his career.
Absolutely right. And then Max Crosby, who was a young.
4th round pick, Max?
Let's see.
Where'd he go? Central Michigan? Is he a Central Michigan?
4th round pick from Eastern Michigan. Fourth round pick from Eastern Michigan. I'll be truthful. I had no idea who he was coming out of college.
No, but neither did I. We knew him last year. I didn't know him coming out of college.
No idea who this guy was.
Did not know him out of college.
So they've identified some of these guys who are Abrams, who are becoming impact players.
Even Ruggs holding that bomb.
Even if you haven't heard of them, some of them you have, some of you haven't. and so the roster construction feels like it's sound.
Yeah,
and so
it's getting there.
It took a couple of years. I think the real issue is that we didn't have patience for it. Like we want John Gruden. All right, John, you got a year, maybe two. All right, you got 2 years, and if you don't prove it, then you know what? We're gonna chalk you up as a failure. And the reality is, it's taken 3+ for him to get this team where he wants it to be. Him and Mike Mayock get this team where he wants it to be. The new stadium. Last year was who knows? I mean, last year's kind of a wash in a lot of ways. Some teams can respond to that adversity, COVID, not being around each other and practicing. They're vet enough. They've been around each other, been around the game so that they can just go play. Some teams couldn't, right? So you washed last year. John Gruden is kind of on track, and now he's in a new stadium with the Legion, and the fan base is there.